I don't want to say I have a problem with that because I honestly don't. It's less about not so much Chris Jones.
Yeah, not him
saying that.
Yeah,
no,
not him
no.
specifically. Because he's having fun. I mean, he's just like, whatever. I just got paid a ton of money, $84 million or whatever the heck the final deal was. And he's happy, man. He knows he's on a squad. He's taken care of for generations. So he's good.
A little drunk on power, a little drunk on fame. It's all good. It's all good. However, here's the problem. All right, this is what bothers me. This has led to an erosion of sensibility from not all, but a fair amount of fans, and I hate to do this, I really do, but I'm going to zero in on the younger fans. And I don't really do that because I think there's a lot of unfair stereotypes with younger fans. But if there's ever a fan base, if you were to break it down to age group, demographic, that has kind of lost the I'm trying to find the
appreciation, like the appreciation for the challenge, for the struggle.
They've desensitized. There it is. They have desensitized. Not all of you, but a lot of you. The process, and the process of winning a championship because Steph Curry's been banging in 30-footers for greater part of a decade, and because. In a lot of ways, things seem easy because in a lot of ways, everybody's positioned as a star based on social media and the contracts, which are largely exorbitant, and a lot of them really out of whack at this point. I don't even mean like Mahomes, but, we know certain guys. You got guys in the NBA, seventh men making, $20 million. It's a joke. But I think what's happened is, and again, I'm cool that Chris Jones says that. That's fine. But now what happens is, fans hear that, and they start to say, well, hey, he's right. I mean, we got Patty Mahomes, we got this, we got that. And they lose a little sight of being lucky, being healthy, sustaining salary cap solvency, if you will. It's just they're not winning 5 or 6. I don't care what Chris Jones says, and I don't care how good Mahomes is. It's not happening.
Well, I mean, it might happen, but the likelihood of it happening is small because back-to-back championships, even by the greatest dynasty that we've seen in football, maybe ever, that lasted 20 years and 6 championships and 9 appearances by the New England Patriots. You have to go back 16 years, BT, before they had the back-to-back ones. So in order to do it back-to-back with the same core group of players, Chris Jones included, is unlikely. And to get 5 of them, and I don't know what's the window for him? Probably 7 years.
7 years max.
7 years max. Yeah. That's gonna need at least 2 back-to-backs. You know what I mean? And, and it just doesn't happen. Let's also not forget that the Kansas City Chiefs, as amazing as they were, and as fantastic of a player as Patty Mahomes is, a Super Bowl MVP, the $500 million man. They had to come back and win a bunch of those games in the postseason. It's not like they just steamrolled everybody. We're beating everybody by 20 points and a couple touchdowns every weekend.
Good point.
They had to come back. They were down by 14 in the Super Bowl, man. So, this team is good. But on paper, anybody can be good. When you put the action on the field, it often takes on a different complexion than how you feel in the moment. So, again, this is Chris Jones having fun. Yeah. He's on a locals, station and
yucking it up a little bit.
6'10", out, and I think it's probably in Kansas City. He feels good about himself, man. He loves it. He's like, dude, I'm happy, right? Yeah. I'm good. And we have a good team, and we hung on to Sammy Watkins, and Patty Mahomes is the man. Andy Reid is great. I feel good. We're going to win a bunch of them.
Yep.
But you're not.
You're not.
Now, you might win 2.
Yeah. You notice how I haven't said I don't think I'm putting no limitations on Mahomes maybe winning. And I don't even like doing that because that's so unfair to the kid. But
True.
This iteration in football is, it's so fluid. I mean, listen, maybe Chris Jones, one of these guys who, at the age of 33, 34, he does see the back end of that deal, and I probably not based on the numbers. Maybe there's a restructure. Maybe he's cut after 4 years. Whatever it is, I don't know. But now here's the one thing that I purposely saved for this part of the conversation. And I don't want it to come across as a knock, but it is just the reality of the situation. All right. You look at some of the dynasties, of course, the Steelers with Noel. You talk about Walsh in the 80s and the 90s. They won 4 in the 80s, the Niners. They won their 5th Super Bowl, first team to get to 5 in the 90s that came. You look at, obviously, the Pats with Belichick. You look at the 90s Cowboys with Jimmy Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Andy Reid. So Andy Reid is a terrific coach. Nobody disputes that. He's offensively innovative, and he's incredibly consistent. 21 years as a coach. He's had 207 regular season wins, all right, and 2 Super Bowl appearances, 1 win, one loss, as we know. Before last year, just listen to the stat. Before last year, no one had coached more games without at least 2 Super Bowls. He was with none.
Yeah.
So that's not to say that Andy Reid isn't a Hall of Famer. He is.
Yep.
He's 61 years of age. He's got an exuberance to him. I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon. But Andy Reid had 14 double-digit win seasons in his career and 1 Super Bowl win.
Yeah.
And now Chris Jones is telling us that suddenly, as he gets to his early and mid-60s, he's going to rip off 4 or 5 more.
Yeah.
Andy Reid, and I hate saying this because I love him, but Andy Reid lost games he should not have lost when he was favored and they were better.
No, it's true. It's absolutely true. I mean, they got to the Super Bowl one time with those really pretty dominant defenses in Philadelphia. Because I remember those Jim Jones defenses, BT. They were a pain in the ass. You didn't know where anybody was blitzing or dogging from. They'd have 8 guys at the line of scrimmage, and then you'd snap the ball, and they'd be in a regular shell coverage. You're like, what the hell did that happen? You know what I mean? So they were so well disciplined and well coached and had good talent on both sides of the football, including Donovan McNabb and T.O. And the one with T.O. was the only Super Bowl that they got to after 5 championship games in Philadelphia. And that's why he was always considered, the greatest coach that hadn't won a Super Bowl. And he finally broke through and got it done. And maybe that's the catalyst, right? Maybe you get it done. You finally, win your Super Bowl, and you do it in this unconventional fashion, meaning they had a great team, but they were down in the Super Bowl, so they had to come back. Maybe he's learned something about himself and his team, and he can use that to parlay it into, another Super Bowl or 2 maybe in his, next 10 years, however many long years he's going to coach. But, to get 5, I think is impossible. But I do commend Chris Jones for setting that expectation. It's very rare that you see stars of teams giving billboard material in the NFL anymore. It used to be like that all the time. I remember
Dion,
exactly. It was just always stuff up on the billboard. Someone's got to respond to it, and then wait till Sunday, right? You used to get that. You don't get that anymore. Guys are so reserved. They say all the right things. They want to be politically correct. They want to be, respectful to their opponent. All that other, nonsense that we've come into this world in football these days. But Chris Jones he's feeling it, and I like that in a sense. Now he's got to go back it up. He got paid. We know what happens when some people get paid. They don't perform as well, or they get so much attention that's not able to perform as well. So if he backs it up, then I got his back, man. So
and T, by the way, there's no penalty if he's wrong.
That's right. It's true.
Keeping the money.
And he just won one, so he's good.
He's good.
He's good. He's got a ring, and he's got a lot of dollars in his bank account right now.
He's doing all right. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that bell to be notified when we drop fresh content.